Hello everyone and welcome to the Math Lab. My name is Jason Gregerson. I'm the director of the Math Lab, and the goal of this video is really to explain what the Math Lab is and then also to show you exactly what you need to do to be successful this semester. So what is the lab? Well, it's an independent part of your calculus course that's run out of its own Canvas course page, in which we're going to teach you how to use the mathematical software Mathematica, and we're going to help you use it to do complex visualizations, complex calculations, and really just give it to you as a tool you can explore your own mathematical questions with. Alright, so how do we actually navigate the course and what do you need to do to be successful? Well, as I said, it has its own separate Canvas course page, so the first thing we're going to do is navigate to that. So here I'm at Michigan Tech's website. From here I would just go to Students, and I'd select the Canvas page here. After logging in with my credentials, I'll be brought to the Canvas dashboard, which will look like this. From here I can select my lab course, the Calculus 1 Lab. I'll be brought to the main calculus homepage, which should look like this. And in this page, we can really see what we need to do to get started. We'll first list the goals of the lab, and then we have a three-point list here of things you need to do to get started. It says first, read through the course syllabus. So you can follow that link and view the course syllabus. After that, we'll click on this link and we'll download the software Mathematica. So when you click on this link, you'll be brought to a IT downloads page where you'll log in with your Michigan Tech credentials, and you'll scroll down to download the software Mathematica. There'll be some instructions for you to follow to do that download. You'll have to click on an activation request link, which will generate an email, and you'll fill that information out, and then you should be sent an activation key. So follow the instructions to download your personal copy of Mathematica. Now that's how you download Mathematica. Now we do have Mathematica installed on every computer around campus. However, I really encourage you that if you have a laptop or your own computer, then really take advantage of the ability to download it for yourself. Alright, so now you have the software. How are we actually going to complete the requirements of the course? Well, the course will essentially all be run out of these modules. So to actually complete the course requirements, we'll simply click on Modules. It'll bring us to our Modules page, and we'll see that in the very first week we have two modules to complete, a Welcome module and a Week 1 module, but after that you'll basically have one module every week with content for you to go through in that week. So if we see how to navigate through these, we'll just open up the first two modules, and I'll click on the first content piece to get started. I'll simply click on this, and the first piece of content in this module is going to be a video. So I would watch the video, which happens to be this welcome video that you're currently watching, and once I'm done with that, I'd hit Next. In this case, the next element will be a Canvas quiz, in which case I would simply select the quiz, and it would prompt me to go through some questions that I would answer and complete, and then I would have completed the quiz. And so some of the assessment types and modules will be quizzes that need to be completed. Now if I keep hitting Next, it'll bring me to the second module, Module 1. And so the first landing spot for this module is the instructions page. Here it says I'm supposed to download this notebook and then use that notebook as I go through the rest of the module components. So when I download that Mathematica notebook, it will look like this. And so here I see that it's divided into four main section points, four main video points. So it looks like the first one is going to be on cells. And so I've downloaded my notebook. Now I'll hit Next. And there'll be a video that walks me through that first part of the notebook. So I can watch the video while following along with the notebook. After I watch that video, I'll hit Next again. And there'll be some questions associated with the content in that first video, in that first part of the notebook. So here what I'd have to do is I would have to grab my notebook, and I have to open up a brand new notebook. So I hit New. It'd open up a new blank notebook, and there'll be instructions for what I should do here. It turns out that I'm supposed to create a section, and I'm supposed to call it Question 1, and then below that I'm supposed to do some sort of task in Mathematica. And so at this point I would complete those tasks in this new notebook, and then I would save that result. After that I would hit Next. And it turns out there's another video going through the second part of the original notebook. And so I would watch this instructional piece, I'd hit Next again, and I have some questions to answer. I would work these problems once again in my blank notebook. So now I'd be adding a Question 2. And I'd work through that content, and then a Question 3, and then I'd go to Next, and I'd watch the next video. And then I go and answer the next questions. And these videos are supposed to be nice and short, kind of condensed information that you can watch at a bite-sized little chunk. Alright, so once I keep navigating through that until I get to the end of the module, and then I'll see that the last component of the module is an assignment to be submitted. And this basically says that you should take all of the answers that you wrote in this notebook. I've got all my worked problems in here, and then I would just hit File, and I would save this file as a PDF. So this would be my Module 1, and then I would type in my name. I'm going to save this as a PDF. So I'm just going to save this as a PDF document. And then on the assignment, I'm going to submit my assignment, which means I'm going to upload the file that I just created. So I'll go to Choose File. Right there. And I would submit this assignment. Now, anytime I submit an assignment in Canvas, it's really important that I make sure that I verify my submission. So now that I've already gone through the submission, I'm going to go over here and just check on my submitted PDF. When I click on that, I'll be able to save it and open it. And then I can verify to make sure my PDF was really submitted correctly. I can make sure that my cells were open, everything looks the way I want it to look, and I actually did submit a non-corrupted PDF. So make sure when you're done submitting an assignment, you always verify your submissions. So this would bring me to the end of the week 1 module. And so I would have completed all the tasks that I needed to do for this week. And so what I'll see is throughout the course, I'll simply come in here each week and work through my modules, learning the information. And that's really going to be the bulk of this course. Now, that being said, if we go back to the syllabus, so from that main Canvas course page, I followed syllabus, and I can come here to look at the syllabus. Here's the course description and the goals, the course structure, which we just described, but it also says that during semester there will also be one final exam at the end of the semester. So as you're working through your weekly modules, it's really important that you're not just trying to get the questions answered so you can complete the assignment, but rather that you're really learning how to do the tasks in Mathematica and being proficient in using that tool. Because at the end of the semester, you're going to come into Fisher 331 and take a proctored exam using the software Mathematica to answer calculus-related questions. So you want to make sure that you understand what you're doing each and every week. So what if you don't understand what you're doing each and every week? How do you get help? Well, if you go back to that main Canvas page, after we get through the getting started first 3 objects, there are 4 pieces of questions. How do you get support? The first one is the Math Lab room, Fisher 331. So this is a room that we have staffed, and we have staffed very often. In fact, if we clicked our staffed hours link here, we can see the current schedule for the lab. So Monday through Thursday, we're open from 8 a.m. all the way to 9 p.m. And then on Friday, we're open from 8 to 5, and we have hours on Saturday and on Sunday as well. So anytime the lab is open, there'll be 2 consultants staffed in this room waiting to answer your Mathematica questions. So that's the best way to get help. Now, if you don't want to walk all the way to Fisher 331 to get help, you can still get help online using Google Hangouts. So you'd simply follow this link to Google Hangouts, and you start a new conversation and search for MTU Math Lab. And sure enough, that'll be us right here, Michigan Tech Math Lab. And you can simply type in whatever questions you might have about the lab. And what's even better is if you're really stuck on a notebook, all you have to do is go and get into a video chat with us, and then we'll have the ability to screen share. So you can actually show us exactly what problem you're having with your notebook, and we can talk to you and look at it in real time. So I really encourage you that if you need help and you're not around campus or you can't get to Fisher 331, that you can use Google Hangouts to get online support. If you have some sort of administrative problem, you can always call the course coordinator. Their contact information should be on this main course page. And if for some reason that course coordinator can't help you, then feel free to contact me, the Math Lab director. All right, so far we've seen a lot of really important parts of the lab. We've seen that it's all run through this Canvas page. And basically we want to click on modules and just complete the tasks in our weekly modules. The only other comment I'd really like to point out that comes from the syllabus page is our late lab and integrity policy. It's really important to understand that because the Math Lab services 1,500 students every semester, that we just do not have the administrative ability to accept late labs. So no late labs will be accepted. What's really important is this also applies even for university approved absences. So the example we always use is if you're a student athlete and you have some away game that you need to play and there's a lab due that night, well, you know that the lab's schedule in advance so you can see that assignment is due ahead of time. You don't have to be present to submit that assignment, so you need to make arrangements to complete it and get it submitted before the due date. So if you have any concerns about that, any extenuating circumstances where you might actually not have the ability to complete your assignment, make sure you contact your lab coordinator prior to the due date to see if something can be worked out. And lastly, the cheating or plagiarism policy. It's really fine to work in groups as you're working through your lab content. The goal is to be proficient with Mathematica. So if you want to get in groups and work together, that's fine. However, you have to put your own final product together. You can't copy code. You can't share notebooks or PDFs. Make sure you do your own work and that you're preparing for that final exam. All right, well, that concludes this video instruction and introduction to the Michigan Tech Math Lab. Thank you for your time.